A recent experience triggered some old insecurities I hadn't felt in a long time. I sat with it, trying to understand what was happening. A trigger for me often shows up as an unexpected reaction, sometimes outsized. Something happens and I suddenly feel off balance, sometimes overly sensitive, or just deeply unsettled. The moment cracked open an old wound I thought I had closed. Underneath this recent trigger, I found a very familiar feeling that I don't belong. I felt like I don't belong for most of my life. I didn't belong to anyone and no one belonged to me. I was on the outside looking in. In short, I felt I didn't matter. It was a very lonely existence, and I never quite understood where these feelings came from until I got up the courage to go in search of some answers. I took a long, hard look at myself, mostly because I was sick of feeling that way. I asked myself on more than one occasion, is this what the rest of my life will feel like? This sense of not belonging? Soul searching is not for the faint of heart. The results can be painful and often lead to more questions than answers, at least at first. Yet I highly recommend it. I know I'm not selling it here. Stick with me for a bit longer. What I've come to understand is that triggers are here to guide us. They point to places within us that are still tender, still healing, still asking to be seen. I'm learning that although it can be painful, it's the gateway to joy, to feeling comfortable in your own skin, liking yourself, heck, even loving yourself. The trick is that you need to sit with whatever comes up. You need to marinate in it. You need to go through it, not around it. There's no pushing it further and further down until you're numb. There are parts of me I used to ignore or judge. Now I approach them with compassion. I've learned to make space for all of it, the joy and the fear, the clarity and the confusion, the muck of it all. For the past few years, I've been committed to this inner work, to asking questions I used to avoid, to listening for the answers that are just below the surface. I'll never claim to have it all figured out. Yet I've learned to trust the process, because every time I uncover a deeper truth, I feel more rooted, more whole. It may sound tedious, maybe even exhausting and annoying. And sometimes it is. But mostly it's fascinating, liberating, revealing, and even mind-blowing. It's the study of you, warts and all. I'm grateful for what I learned about myself, both the things I had probably always known and the things I pushed down so deep I needed a shovel and a flashlight to find. Because what's on the other side is so worth knowing. Then you can let it go and begin living your life in earnest. I highly recommend this thing they call self-exploration. I like to call it a healing journey. I've had so many aha moments in the past year that I could write a book. And then the time between uncovering a truth, processing the emotions around the truth, and letting go of stories I've carried for far too long becomes shorter and shorter. I'm a new, improved version of myself with way less second guessing and self-doubt. The new me was always there. I just had to go in search of her and allow her to surface. One last thing. If you choose to go on this journey, share it. Share it with others. It could be a trusted friend or a family member. It could be a therapist, a coach, or maybe all of those. You are not meant to do this alone. Others have similar experiences and feelings. They will be relieved to hear that they aren't the only ones. Trust me on this. Thanks for listening. Until next time.